Namaste
Namaste.
Techies.
Namaste Techies. Namaste
Namaste
Anoop.
Harjit.
Hey, uh, it's a very loving day today, by the way. It's Valentine's Day, or in
Hey,
Punjabi we say Villain Day. Happy Villain Day.
I saw some of your Facebook shares today. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
And I've got the appropriate T-shirt too with a heart,
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So as we say in Hindi and all that is Pyar Ka Din.
प्यार मोहब्बत का दिन.
Pyar Mohammed Ka Din. Yeah. Lots of love to everybody.
So,
All right. So we're back. We're good. Um, and so hey, what are we going to talk about? Yeah, I think you have
so
a
let's dive today. Probably we can dive into something related to conditional access policies, right?
oh,
The easy way to set up. Uh, you
yes.
should not go through all those nitty-gritties or whatever you call it, right? The
Yeah.
confusing thing. Probably there are some easy way to set up some of the stuff in conditional access policies.
Right, right.
So
Yeah, so those that are not familiar with conditional access, it's really when you think about, like the if this then that kind of situation, you got controls, you got actions and conditions, right? So, for example, like if you set conditional access and you have your users that normally work from a specific location, and now they're working from a different location, there are these conditions that are set that saying, hey, you normally don't work here, but we're going to now ask you for more additional steps in order to say who you are, what you are, and stuff like
yeah,
that, right? And then
yeah,
let you access the. That's just one thing out of so many. So
yeah.
yeah, go
Eh,
ahead, man.
it is a big I don't know, sea or ocean or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Lot of configuration and expanding the boundaries, etc., right?
right, right.
So let me share my screen and let's directly walk through it. Um, so So you can get into conditional access from MEM portal, MEM admin center. If you go to endpoint security in MEM center, you would be able to see a conditional access node over there. For example, if I go over here, you would be
Hmm.
able to see the conditional access under the manage section, right? So click on that, and you can see over here there are some policies I have already kind of created, and some are read only, some are on, right? Read only means it's for reporting and for
Right.
testing purpose. If you want to test some conditional access policies, the best way is to configure it as report only and analyze the report and understand whether it is working as you expect, right? Then if you are happy with that settings, then you can promote it to um, on or something like that into production
Right.
kind of stuff. So
That's a great point. Yeah.
okay, so now let's there are two ways to create conditional access policies from this place. The normal way and the difficult way, probably, if you are not familiar with conditional access, is the first one. Over there, you need to select all the conditions, all the permissions, access,
Yeah.
and applications, etc., etc. And the easiest way is this one. Okay, create new policy from template. So what Microsoft, and this is in preview. So what Microsoft did is they created the standard templates to easy to use. So you just need to click on it and it will provide you, it will probably ask you some questions. You want to do it for devices or identity. So I normally select identities. What is identity? Right? User related stuff, and devices is device based conditional access policy. Okay,
Right.
so I'm going to select. Probably I'm going to go with some of the MFA, multi-factor authentication enablement conditional access policy. How we can set it up. If you go over here, the first option is require MFA for admins. That is pretty straightforward and very
Yeah.
critical, right? I recommend to enable MFA for at least for full admins, even if that is not possible for the normal administrators, etc. Right? If you have a full admin access on Azure tenant, I think this is must. And I have seen most of the organizations are using it for the normal admins like Intune admins or MEM admins, etc., etc. The
Right.
conditional access is one of the security criteria, and security team is happy whenever we create a MFA for all these admins. Right? Okay, so let's select this, and we have different templates as you can see over here. Require multi-factor for all the users. That is also I have seen through when we do autopilot enrollment, etc., etc. It will prompt you for the conditional access policy. So if you want to set up like that, you can use this kind of a template, and that would be very easy to create. So if
Okay.
you
Yeah.
want to see the summary, you can go into the summary details over here. It will show you, okay, what is this particular template? The template policy template name is there, and what is it for, basically, right? You can see the current user is excluded. That is good, right? Otherwise you are going to lock out yourself in, at least not for
Exactly.
MFA. Probably not for MFA, but for some other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it is pretty good, I would say. And you can see included directory roles. These are the directory roles already included in this MFA.
Mhm.
So this MFA is for authentication for admins. These are the admin roles that will prompt you for the MFA. Okay. You can see it is applicable for all the cloud apps. If you are not going to select this template, and if you are going to manually create the policies using the first method I showed you initially, in that scenario you have to select all these things. Right?
Right.
And you need to know what are the admin accounts or admin roles which you want to add to this MFA, etc. Right? But this is kind of automatically out of box provided solution for you, and this is pretty useful in my experience.
And
So
you can rename this policy, right? Right.
mhm,
On the left hand side, so you
yeah,
don't have to select the default name there.
exactly. And if you want to rename it, you can
Yeah.
rename it like
Yep.
MFA for Namaste Techies. So
Admins or something like that, right? MFA
yeah,
for admins.
Namaste Techie admins, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So as I mentioned, by default, it gives you the best practice. That is read only. So
Hmm.
first of all, always do read only and assess the impact of it, how the devices users are
Yeah.
behaving, and it is working perfectly or not. Then proceed with on. So
Yeah.
I will go with read only at the moment, and then we can change it to on if you want. If we want, so let's
Hmm.
click on next button, and this is it. This is it. You just need to create policies. That's done. Your
Done. Simple as
MFA
that.
is in, yeah. It didn't take a minute. It is straightforward, and it is pretty easy. Mhm.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is. Yep.
this is the one we created, and if you want to edit, if you want to select something, if you want to remove something, you can do that from here, right? For example, if you want to exclude some of the admins, you can add users in here. Even if
Yeah.
you use the template, you have all the customization option once you create the policy. That is the beauty of it, right? It is not a
Right.
read only. So that's good. Yeah, and even for all the things, right? For example, all cloud apps, you want to select only few cloud apps. You don't want to select all cloud apps. Then you can go over here and
And change it.
select particular application. For example, if you want to enable this for only for the DevOps, Azure DevOps, you can do that. But this is the best practice, I would say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep like that. I'm going to close this and then move on. and access. This is also automatically selected over here. You must be familiar with all these things, other ones, right? Require device to be marked as complaint. This is in line with Intune compliance policy. So if
Yeah.
the device is Intune enrolled and the complaint with the complaints policies which we set in Intune, then these accesses will be provided. So this is for the device management part of it, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into the details of that. And
Yeah,
for
because a quick example for the second one, devices marked for compliance. So an example to give somebody is, so if you set your compliance policy in Intune where you require a certain version of Windows 10, for example, 10 point something something something. So if it's less than that, you've set your compliance to be non-compliant for devices. So this is what will help you with that conditional access
yeah,
policy.
and basically this is helpful for Azure AD join devices.
Mhm.
And the third one is basically very good for Windows 365 or AVD kind of scenarios. If you are doing hybrid join for those kind of devices, right? This scenario, this condition is useful for that scenario. Okay, that's cool. So I'm going to close this, and then you can see over here at the moment this is a read-only policy. Now,
Yeah,
if you want to turn it to on,
yeah.
then you can say that. Okay, I'm going to move. I looked at the read-only policies, and it is all fine, and all the accesses, permissions, everything is fine. Now I'm going to turn this on, deploy this to the set of users or set of admins, right? So for example, if I save this, this is kind of now it is going to change. Probably it is going to take some time. It is already on. Okay, so if I refresh, you would be able to see created creation date and
Mhm.
modification, modified date, etc., etc. Right? So this is one of
So
the policy. Mhm.
yeah, go ahead. What I was going to say is that we may have questions from our viewers, like where do you go check the report only for one of
Yeah.
these conditional? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That is a good one, and you can see over here in the monitoring. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is the monitoring part of it, right? And in monitoring, if you go to audit logs over here, you would be able to see uh, particular policies, right? For example, if you can see our policies over here,
Yeah.
MFA for in MFA for Namaste Techies admin. That policy is there, and you can see it is update. So basically, what I did is I changed the policy to from read only to on. That is what it is. It shows over here. So update conditional access policy. Update the policy and add conditional access policy. That is what I did when that is what happened when I created the policy, right? So all these things are already being assessed. As you can see over here, there are some policies which are failing, right? For
Failures.
example,
There's some
yeah,
failures.
there are failures out here. That is for user management policies. Okay, taking time. You can see over here some policies are failing, and what is the reason for that, status reason, etc. Right? And you can see target options over here, which is this user, why it is failing, etc., etc. Right? So I wanted to show one of the other conditional access policy. Probably it is not there. It's already overwritten. Probably that is why it is not showing. Otherwise, you would be able to see the policy details. Something like, oh, okay, this is prompted for MFA. This particular policy is prompting users to admin users to
Mhm.
provide MFA, etc.
Yeah.
And as you can see over here, you can export all these details to your security system, or I don't know Sentinel. I don't know Sentinel. It is possible or not, but there are a lot of security ecosystems you can use to export these details. And I don't know whether it is possible to add this to log analytics. Probably you can do that. See, over here there's an option called log analytics, and in this subscription I don't have any log analytics, but you can do that actually if you have a
Yeah.
log analytics thing, workspace, etc. So this is pretty good stuff, I think. Hope this was useful.
Yeah. That's good. Good demo. So yeah, so the templates is a quick and easy way to uh, definitely get started with conditional access. Um, and like you said, right, you could do it the long way if you want, get really granular, but then you got to know what you're trying to pick, what
Yeah,
you're trying to set, who you're trying to grant, the
yeah.
conditions. So maybe start with a template and then modify it to
Yes,
whatever meets your needs. Yeah. Maybe like you don't want to add all of those admin groups that show up and you might want to remove, two or three of those. Who knows, right? Uh, but yeah, no, that's great. That's how you do conditional access.
in Namaste Techies style.
Yeah, quick and dirty.
Yeah.
All right, so that was good. So next time, I think we got a good idea for our next show. It's going to be a
Yeah.
bit longer, I think, but we're going to walk through some of that. You mentioned it uh, in while you were
Yeah.
doing your audit log, so we will talk
I
about that stuff more in detail in our next show. So yeah, keep an eye out, and until next time, you know where to find us, and
And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment.
yeah, give us some feedback. Give us some feedback. We love your comments. I mean, there are some of you who are like commenting on our shows in YouTube and stuff, and it really helps. It really does. So please reach out if you need anything from us. And until next time, namaste.
Namaste.